Dallas Cowboys Game Night is presented by AT&T. Geico. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. Miller Lite, the only beer the Cowboys. It's Miller time. And by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full and condensed game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl.
On the day where the Dallas Cowboys were crowned kings of the NFC East, they elect to throw a party in the end zone at AT&T Stadium as they absolutely embarrass the Washington football team 56-14 on national television. Sunday Night Football goes in favor of the Cowboys that are now 11-4 and have won 4 straight. Welcome in to Cowboys Game Night, live from the Star in Frisco in the Globe Life Studios. He's Nate Newton. I'm Kyle Youmans, as the Cowboys do indeed win the NFC East, their first divisional title since 2018. Nate, they didn't have to win in order to secure the title. They actually had it wrapped up prior to kickoff today, thanks to some of the other results around the NFL. But the Cowboys celebrated accordingly in probably the most complete game they've played all year.
Up to date, yes. I mean, we've been worried about our offense. We've been wondering, can they get going? You know, they started out the first drive, and I'm like, uh-oh, bad play after bad play. But then they go to defense, and Trayvon Diggs makes a big, humongous play, opening play of the drive, a big pass, big interception, and they got everything rolling. From that point on, it seemed like everybody on the team made plays.
All 3 units making an impact in this one, offense, defense, and special teams, as we take a look at the highlights. And it started early, like you said, for the Dallas Cowboys, returning to AT&T Stadium at home for the first time in over a month, and they're looking for their 4th straight win. Dak Prescott and company trying to get on track after they punted on their opening drive. Well, it was the first offensive play from Washington, and it was Trayvon Diggs, his 11th interception of the season, and the NFL leader in picks gets another. 9 plays, 71 yards later on the second drive from the offense. Zeke gets open in the flats on 3rd and 4 and finds the end zone. Dallas strikes first, up 7-0. Now on the next drive, following another defensive stop, Dallas another long drive. This time 8 plays, 74 yards, capped off by this touchdown to Dalton Schultz, as the Dallas offense all of a sudden started to find a rhythm. But how does the defense keep up? Well, it's the one-man wrecking crew. DeMarcus Lawrence reaches up, tips the ball in the air, comes down with the interception, and that's not all. D-Law with the pick, D-Law with the 6.
You know what, man? It was so nice because he dropped back. He saw where he couldn't get there. Next thing you do, coach tell you to get in the path of the quarterback. He saw his eyes. He jumped up, made an athletic catch right there. He stiff arms the guy, gets on the sideline, be aware of where he's at, and he takes it to the house.
17th
nice play.
Player to score a touchdown this year, a new franchise record. Dallas led 21-0 at the end of the first. Washington did score to start the second, but we don't have any time for that. How about Zeke Elliott from 11 yards out, muscling his way into the end zone? So the Cowboys now up 28-7. They've got to be done in the first half, right? Wrong. Terrence Steele finds his way open, and it's a big man touchdown. Nate, you're a big man. You love to see a big man find the end.
Oh, that's exciting right there. He gets on him, then he releases him to the inside. He thinks he's going to get him a big hit. And all of a sudden, he looks around, it's a touchdown. Don't break your leg there, young fella. Whoa, here we go.
D-Law was the 17th. Man. Terrence Steele was the 18th Cowboys player to find the end zone. So now Dallas is done, right? Not so fast. How about Amari Cooper in the corner of the end zone with the reception? A touchdown for Amari after a 2-minute drill. Dak Prescott in the first half, 321 yards and 4 touchdowns. The Cowboys led at the break 42-7. Put up a 40-burger in the first half, and they kept it going in the second half. A punt block from Corey Clements, and then it's into the hands of Chauncey Golston. He recovers it in the end zone. Special teams getting in on the action here.
Right here, man. He went up the field and then inside for a clean release. Blocks it right there. Golston picks it up, man. This was a complete game, Kyle, and that's a great block by our special team players, Clemens.
Yeah, you knew the offense got in on the groove. How about the defense keeping the momentum going? Trayvon Diggs now with 11 interceptions, tying Everson Walls for the most in Cowboys history, and the Cowboys shaking hands after 56-14 over Washington. Everyone all smiles at AT&T Stadium. Nearly 500 yards of total offense. It was a balanced attack all the way through, but really there's nothing you can nitpick. 3 of 13 the defense, holding Washington on third down, and the Cowboys offensively converting on 2/3 of their third down conversion opportunities. It was dominating from the get-go, and the Cowboys come out on top, and they are 11-4, very much so in the talk and in the hunt for a number 1 seed in the NFC. We've got plenty more to come. We've got as much as any other Cowboys game night to talk about here in post-game reaction from the Star in Frisco. But when we come back, we hear from head coach Mike McCarthy on the Cowboys win over Washington. 56-14, the final score from AT&T Stadium.
This segment is brought to you by the Texas Lottery. The Dallas Cowboys scratch ticket from the Texas Lottery is your ticket for a chance to win up to $100,000. Get your Dallas Cowboys scratch ticket today. Must be 18 or older to purchase a ticket. Play responsibly.
56-14, the Cowboys over the Washington football team. They are 5-0 now versus the NFC East this season. And more importantly, they are NFC East champions and have an opportunity for the number 1 seed in the conference underneath head coach Mike McCarthy, who was at the podium after the win.
Okay, David's not here, so let's move. Who's next? Terrence.
Just talk about this points barrage. Everybody's been talking about a slump. It seems like you broke out of the slump tonight.
Well, I just think, number one, it's, obviously these games are important. We understand division game. And I think our guys have done just a phenomenal job with everything going on. Obviously, Washington's gone through a bunch with, the COVID challenge. We've had a number of guys this week. So just really kept it about football. And, we got started early both on offense and defense. The 2 takeaways early, we, set the tempo and, the scoring drives. So, we wanted to play a complete game, and I think we accomplished that tonight.
How aware were you that the Raiders had won and that you guys had clinched the division before you even went out there tonight?
I was aware, but we didn't talk. We didn't talk about it. We felt that we really needed to perform like you always do each and every week. These games are important, momentum, victories in December. So, and I just thought, our play style and staying the course was exactly what we needed to do today. So I thought it was a good performance by our team.
Did the team not know, or you just didn't discuss it with the team?
I didn't discuss it with the team. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if guys did know about it. But yeah, I mean, we were in our pre-game, and then obviously. Seeing the score, I mean, I had it on the locker room, in my locker room, but yeah, I mean, to me, it was irrelevant. We needed to go out and perform tonight, and our guys did it.
Did you guys celebrate the division championship?
Yes, we had the hats and T-shirt moment in the locker room, so a lot of fun. The guys are enjoying it. So I mean, it's kind of stinks. You only get to celebrate the midnight tonight, so they're in a hurry. So,
how would you describe the game?
So there you hear Mike McCarthy talking about how it's not really a ton of time for the Cowboys to celebrate this NFC East title, and I think that's what's most important to keep in mind. There's no talk of they're satisfied. Jerry Jones said it earlier in the week. Mike McCarthy said it right there. You got a little bit of time to determine or to at least celebrate the NFC East championship. But, Nate, what is the goal now for this Cowboys team sitting at 11-4 and moving into the final 2 games?
The highest seed possible. You either want that 1 or that 2 seed so you can have 2 games at home. If you can have 2 games at home with this team on the road the way they are, when they're on the road, they're not the same team. But when they come home, they are a different team with that crowd, and they play a different style of game. And our defense, they're going to hold us, but we just need to stay at home for our offense those first 2 games.
Cowboys need a little bit of help. They need Green Bay to lose once for them to at least have a shot at the number 1 seed. Now, with that being said, Nate, I mean, you've been a part of a bunch of playoff runs in the past. Now, where does this team, at least at the moment, the way they're playing, where does it stack up entering the final couple weeks?
I think they're starting to peak, and that's what concerns me is they're starting to peak. Dak is starting to find his rhythm. The rest of the offense is rallying. The defense is playing well. The special teams is holding up. The way I see them right now is they get to the second round easily. Yeah.
I see how you do it. But the Cowboys, of course, I mean, you're very timid. You want to make sure that you have realistic expectations all the way through. Cowboys have a lot higher, loftier expectations in that locker room, just the way that you would want it. And like you said, the offense getting back on track today against the Washington football team. When we come back, we hear from Ezekiel Elliott about the game and how he feels this offense is clicking moving forward.
This segment was brought to you by the Texas Lottery. The Dallas Cowboys scratch ticket from the Texas Lottery is your ticket for a chance to win up to $100,000. Get your Dallas Cowboys scratch ticket today. Must be 18 or older to purchase a ticket. Play responsibly. This segment is brought to you by Geico. Switch today and see all the ways you could save.
It wasn't the most impressive stat line from Ezekiel Elliott in the 56-14 win, but he did find the end zone twice. One through a receiving touchdown and the other one on the ground from 11 yards out. And Ezekiel Elliott was all smiles after the game at the podium.
Give Roxy a minute.
I'm ready.
So, I mean, you don't see games like that happen very often in the NFL. How much fun is it to be a part of a one-sided game like that?
Man, it's very fun. Everyone came out there and did their job today. Defense took the ball away. We actually scored more touchdowns than they had takeaways, so we won a little bet today. But I mean, it felt really good.
However many games it was, 3-4, where we're asking you all a lot of the same questions about why it's not clicking the way. What if you had to pick something out that made the difference in how well y'all played on offense? What do you think it was?
I think the thing that really helped us was we got on the ball and we were playing with tempo. I mean, when we do that, it tires those guys down so much, and I mean, it takes a lot of the thinking out of the game for us. So I mean, getting on the ball, playing with tempo, that's our easiest way to wear that defense down.
You've been telling us that you feel better, that you feel as good as you felt in a long time. It really looked like it out there. Was that as good as you felt in a long time?
1,000%. I'm close. I'm real close to being back. Feeling 100%, and I think the coaches, they've done a good job just kind of limiting my reps and letting me get healthy. But yeah, I'm close.
Does the brace kind of help to that effect, or is it more about the rest, or like you said, the limited reps in practice?
I think the brace definitely helps a lot. The brace, yeah, it helps a lot. It keeps it stable, keeps things from moving around, and yeah.
Is that about peace of mind also?
So, of course, Ezekiel Elliott and the offense getting off the ground at least early on in the game, 42 points in that first half. It was exactly what the Cowboys wanted to see. Is it what you wanted to see from this offense as you wanted them to click moving forward?
Definitely. A better run game, if we get a better run game that gets Dak a better pass game, and as Zeke get healthier and Tony Pollard continue to be the explosive guy that he is, we're going to be all right because we're a run first team, pass second.
And they were able to run the ball efficiently early on, but Dak Prescott with 35 pass attempts in the first half. The passing game was really what Washington was giving the Dallas Cowboys, and they were able to take advantage throughout. When we come back, we focus back on the defensive side. How about hearing from the NFL's leader in interceptions? Trayvon Diggs steps to the podium when we come back on Cowboys Game Night.
This segment was brought to you by Geico. Switch today and see all the ways you could save.
Welcome back into Cowboys Game Night. Kyle Youmans back with you. Trayvon Diggs now with 11 interceptions. He was able to tie Everson Walls for the most in a single season in Cowboys history on the first defensive play from scrimmage. Here's what he had to say after the win over Washington.
Can you walk us through, just from the mindset perspective, they go at you like that on the first play of the game? What's going through your head?
I wasn't expecting it, but I'm still ready at the end of the day. So, they wanted to try me. First play, So I knew it was going to be that type of game, though. Just a lot of action, just balls up in the air. So, I was just on it. I was prepared. I was ready for it. They put their best guy on me, so see what happens. But they wanted to spice it up in the beginning for sure.
The next series, you had a PBU, I think, and you kind of – it was on their sideline,
yep.
And you kind of glared. Was somebody saying something to you, or were you just looking at them like, what are y'all doing?
Exactly. Exactly what I was thinking.
Does that kind of pump you up, like the first play of the game?
No, I was in my feelings. I felt, like, wow, they really just did that. So, it gave me a little bit more, to go out there and, just, put on my best. But at the end of the day, it's football. You never know what to expect. And
what do you think of DeMarcus's form on his pick six?
He's fire. Like, he's really fast. Madden need to stop changing his rating, too. I think they got him like an 80-something. He's definitely a 90 speed on Madden, so need to fix that. Madden definitely need to fix that. And he got acceleration. He got jukes. All that need to go up, because I play with Cowboys on Madden. I need him to be running, put him in a spot, chasing other people.
What do you think about your defense overall in terms of you get a pick, Lawrence a pick 6?
Yep.
You know, so many different guys making plays when you get them.
It's amazing, you know, just everybody clicking, everybody's just vibing, and everyone wants to make plays. You see the next man make a play, you want to make a play. You see him make a play, the next person want to make a play. So, you know, it's just, we got this energy and this vibe on defense that's, you know, it's unmatched. Like, it's like we really clicking.
Y'all have been aggressive all season, but especially tonight, it seemed like y'all contested every ball that got thrown. Just, is that something in the game planning, or is it the pass rush, or just what do you think led to that?
That's definitely in the game planning. We play man almost every play, so it's gonna be them one-on-one catches, it's gonna be one-on-one contested balls. So, you know, that's expected. You know, so we just go out there, we got the D-line, you know, and just do our job.
You guys have won 4 in a row.
Here's a look at the defensive stats for the Dallas Cowboys. 5 sacks total, 1 for DeMarcus Lawrence, 1 for Mr. Micah Parsons, as the rookie now up to 13 sacks on the year, and then also a couple other guys getting in the mix there. The 2 interceptions for the Cowboys as well. Trayvon Diggs now up to 11. 11 picks for Trayvon Diggs, 11 wins for the Cowboys. I mean, when's the last time you've seen a Cowboys defense have this much success game in and game out?
I've been on some teams that have had great success defensively as a whole, top 5, all during our Super Bowl run, but never the individual statistics. I played a little bit with Everson Walls, but he had already accomplished these feats, the 11 and the 9 interceptions respectively on the defense. But, man, to see this much talent play at this level and knowing that they haven't reached their peak is an amazing thing.
They were able to hold Taylor Heineke to 7 of 22 passing, 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions, so really shutting him down as they continue to do that. They've stacked up 5 straight games now, really, of taking the defense and making something of it on that side of the ball. When we come back here on Cowboys Game Night, we wrap up another big win for the Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys Game Night was presented by AT&T, Reliant, an NRG company, and by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full and condensed game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl.
56-14, the final score from AT&T Stadium as the Dallas Cowboys not only wrap up the NFC East, but propel themselves forward with a boatload of confidence heading into the final 2 games of the regular season as they beat down the Washington football team here in Week 16. Welcome back in. Final segment of Cowboys Game Night. He's Nate Newton. I'm Kyle Youmans. It was a record-setting day, Nate, but what was your favorite part about the Cowboys not only getting their 4th straight win, but doing it in big fashion?
I hate to say this, and I know Dak saying we shouldn't celebrate, but when I saw them hats and I saw that, the Cowboys run the East, I love that. NFC East champs, I love that, man. Cherish that moment, man. I mean, you can't take it into next week, but you can take it for 2 days and then cherish that moment and keep playing for one another. If they keep playing for one another, they'll be okay.
Mike McCarthy said they had until midnight to celebrate the NFC East title, and the Cowboys
1 o'clock.
did that on the field. There you go. Okay, we'll push it back because of Nate Newton. Thank goodness he has it taken care of. But that's going to do it here for us in Cowboys Game Night. Cowboys take on the Cardinals next week, a 3:25 kickoff, and we'll be here to cover it on DallasCowboys.com. We'll see you next week.